Hi everyone, this is Killshot from 99 Gaming. This is Fear the Walking Dead, Season 4, Episode 3. We are starting this stream a little bit early tonight. I know people get the notification. I do have to warn everybody, this is a reaction video. There are going to be spoilers, obviously. So if you're here now, you probably have gotten the news. If you log in a little bit late, if you don't want to know the epic event that happened tonight is... Nick is no longer a part of Fear the Walking Dead. Wow. Blown away. Now we see why the spoilers weren't out there this week. It was absolutely epic from a viewer perspective. Amazing shock value, amazing writing. I know that Nick is, just from doing these videos and hanging out with you guys, that Nick is probably the most popular character, if not the second most popular character. Very, very well liked, supported. So, this is going to be one of those kind of emotional videos that we do tonight. So I know not everybody loved him. We still have we still got to talk about Madison. Tomorrow we'll do a complete recap. But clearly, we do these fan reactions, the reaction video, the shock value. Normally I go through this and I ask everybody, what was the most shocking moment, and there's no doubt this is the most shocking moment I have seen in either Walking Dead. As far as I'm concerned, I have to tell you guys, I absolutely love how they go about this. It was very unique. They didn't wait around. They didn't save it. It was very Game of Thrones-like. I have not had that shock value probably since I've binge-watched Game of Thrones. So it's a great question, Beth. He wanted to kill him so badly. You assume that something has went down with Madison. I'm not going to give in to the fact that she could be alive. I know the blue bonnets were there. I know it had emotional meaning. I know there's some things that we're going to find out that went down. Maybe Madison's dead. Maybe she's alive. Maybe she's gone. But Nick clearly had some anger just built up that he had to take out his vengeance. One would think that it did have something to do with Madison, that maybe she's gone. But we can probably say maybe she's not. Yes, Jonathan, Nick is he's gone. I'm just gonna, wow. I mean, just the emotion in this stream tonight. It's been a while, right? I mean, since we've had a stream like this, probably since the Glenn and Abraham death. Shock. I mean, there's no other word to describe it right now. I'm a little speechless at the moment, and that's a good thing. I mean, it's a good thing for shows to keep you on your toes and not be predictable. And I can't think of anybody that saw that coming. Terry says, "Oh my God, I can't believe they just did this." So we're gonna get some new people into the stream, and I just want to kind of say thank you for all of you guys being here. Of course. Appreciate the dialogue, the chat. This has been our therapy session on some nights, but recently it's not been. And if you have any doubt whatsoever that Fear is not playing games this season, so I'm going to throw this out to the group. And Epic Vids, thank you so much for that super chat. So shocked because no spoilers from the site. You can obviously see why the spoilers were very tight-lipped this week. People didn't want the word to get out because this was amazing. I do have to ask the group this, and I need all of you to do me a favor. Take the emotional attachment from Nick away just for 1 second, and I want you to rate this episode from a 1 to a 10. Just based on the episode, the content, the surprise, the writers, all of the above. It is memorable. It is, and I love seeing these scores come out because this tells me that The Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, is willing to step up to the plate and do anything, crazy stuff. This had the boldness and the courage that The Walking Dead has lacked for some time. And the gloves are off. That's all I can say. So we've had 3 episodes so far this season, and I will tell you, a lot of you guys are rating the score high, if not higher, than some of the Walking Dead episodes. And I thought there would be a couple. But Pete D says they made me a fan tonight. Excellent writing. And Pete, I think you might have been one of the ones a couple of weeks ago. You were on the fence, right? About Fear the Walking Dead. There were a few people that were on the fence. It was a good episode before the little girl shot Nick. It was telling a good story. I like the character development. I mean, I got so many things, so many notes that I wanted to talk about as far as some mysteries that I really want to uncover, and we'll go through that tomorrow when we do the complete recap. Charlie's a new Ollie from Game of Thrones. Charlie just went beyond Henry mode. I know that. Jamie Krysick says, great writing, bad death. Well, that's what makes the show interesting, I guess, is we do get... I don't know if there's a character on Fear the Walking Dead that I was more attached to than Nick. And they set it up extremely well. D Love says, wow, totally shocked. Who saw that coming? I mean, Fear the Walking Dead has their water cooler, let's talk about this stuff moment. So, Terry, thank you so much for that super chat. And I do, if you guys know, anytime there's a super chat, we're going to just put it on pause and go directly to your topic of conversation. And I'm going to throw this out to the group, super chat spotlight here. So she said, and why Charlie, wish it was Madison instead of Nick? That's a two-part question. I think, one, Charlie clearly is struggling with some things, and she saw or heard or knew what Nick just did. So, Charlie's attachment, if that was her father, possibly. And with Madison, Terry, I don't know. I'm going to ask the group. It seems obvious that Madison should be dead based on Nick's reaction, but I'm going to throw this out to the group. Is Madison dead? Is Madison dead? Is she captive? What is up with Madison? And once again, another kudos to the writers of Fear the Walking Dead for leaving us wonder what's going on with Madison. Drama King says captured. A lot of people are saying she's dead. I just think it almost seems a little too obvious at this point that she's dead. Dwayne Sharp says Madison's dead, wounded, or severely injured. Maybe severely injured. So let me ask a follow-up question to the group. Nick said something to Morgan tonight, and did I miss it? Because Nick says to Morgan, you know what he did to me. And when he said that, maybe I missed something. Was there a conversation, or Did Nick reveal something to Morgan? I know I'm not imagining it, but and I'm going to definitely go back and watch this episode and get as many facts and details I can possibly get. I absolutely agree with that. Rowdy, that is one of the questions. And one of the comments, Rowdy says Nick's death was definitely sadder than Carl's. I agree. I agree, and I don't even think I like Nick as much as Carl. But it certainly was it certainly was a moment that you're not going to forget. So let's move on to Epic Vids. Real quick, moderators are going to be working super, super hard with comments. I'm going to ask the group here. One, there's a lot of people in the group right now, so it's going to be a ton. And you guys know how we do these live streams. And I know it's a very, very emotional moment. There's a lot of attachment to these characters. I'm going to ask everybody, try to state your comments respectfully, just so we don't block them. I mean, I understand there's a lot of venom right now with Gimple and a few other people, but if you come in here and you say F Gimple, the comment's not going to show up. So structure your comments, just make it pointed, everybody. And I'm not trying to, baby anybody, but, just say it a way that we can sort of talk about it and get it out in the open, because it's definitely a epic event on The Walking Dead. Probably one of the most shocking moments of any Walking Dead. I'm going to get back to you in 1 second. I just want to kind of get that out there. I appreciate you guys and your passion, your input, but just frame it in a way that we can talk about it. So Epic Vids, Super Chat. It's a good point. He says, Nick is saying it's too late when Morgan gave the book to him, as well as him lying down in the field of the Blue Bonnets. They were great parallels. They were. So two things that I would say with that. And there was a comment that Nick had made to Morgan, where Morgan had said, are you going after the El Camino? And Nick said, you know what he did to me, or something along those lines. And I was just trying to figure out, like, at what point did Morgan know that, or how did that conversation happen? All right, Ryan, you got to go, man. Ryan C., dude, I gave you a warning, and I'm just going to let you know that that stuff's just not tolerated. You can be upset, but guys, being upset about a show and being just extremely inappropriate to people that are watching this, I hate to block somebody because of a passionate situation or a moment. But I also have to tell you that you can't be here with that type of thing. You're just not the type of viewer and participant that we want on this channel. So, if you can't participate in the conversation and get the conversation out there the right way, then, I apologize in advance. You can definitely be passionate. You can be hurt. We're all kind of in that situation. But, you just got to keep yourself under wraps. You control your emotions, sir, not Scott Gimple. All right, so sorry, dude, but anyway, moving on. Mel was definitely pushing some buttons. I was going to talk about mail a little bit. I was going to talk about Lucy and Nick's relationship, and what else can you talk about? I'm going to let some people kind of vent. I got to ask this question to the group. And one thing, you guys can do me a big, big favor. We got several hundred people in here. If you're new to the stream, thank you for being here. Appreciate you getting here and getting involved. Subscribe. Join us for these chats. We do chats all week long. We analyze the show. We do our predictions. We have the fan reactions, which we're doing right now. We'll do a complete recap tomorrow. But if you guys could Lucille that like button, just slap the like button, hang out with us, and participate in these chats. We definitely want good, passionate chat, but we also want people to, we're a family. We're a group, so we want to be respectful. I know it's hard to take the emotion out of the equation, and it's going to be like that on Talking Dead tonight. Wow, I mean, Chris Hardwick is going to be blown away. I think Pete D said it a little bit ago. Fear the Walking Dead needed a unbelievable moment for just epic credibility, and this is that moment. As much as you hate it, as much as you love Nick, and I'm a Nick fan, probably as much as anybody else on the show, this took it to a different level. And I'm going to say, if you had any doubt about ratings or about risk or about things that this show is willing to do, I do not doubt that the ratings are going to spike. Because people are going to watch this show to say, what is next? I agree, Robbie. I'm actually going to show that comment because not everybody's going to agree. Robbie Rotten says, let's be honest, at least Fear has the balls to kill off big characters. I don't disagree with that at all. And this is a reaction video. Obviously, your comments are streaming. People are going to see them when the playback happens. And I'm going to focus on just a few more of your comments. Once again, any super chats will freeze the screen and we'll definitely shift the topic, talk about what you want to talk about. But I want to try to get a few of these comments in that we can possibly get in as well. I can't get them all in. So Lynn Varner says that Frank had asked to be killed off because he wants to pursue other projects. It's possible. That does happen. And Chris Rainig. Yeah, I did miss Chris's super chat. Sorry, everybody. Blue flowers like blue paint. Well, I will say two things. And black used to be my favorite color. And this bluish tint, either like a Carolina blue or a Tron blue, definitely is an attention getter. There's no doubt that the blue paint stood out on Walking Dead, and I do think there's certainly a goal with the writers and the producers and how these flowers stood out. I mean, even in a screenshot, we wanted to get this up there and show you a little bit of the flowers, but I don't know the symbolic meaning of a blue bonnet. I'll look that up as well so we can talk about it tomorrow. But definitely got the attention. Epic Vid says, will Lisa or Madison get revenge on Charlie? All right, so let me throw this out to the group. It's a super chat, and everybody, please keep your comments appropriate, at least somewhat appropriate. This is a little girl we're talking about. So, what happens to Charlie? And once again, your comments do show up on the video. So, will they take revenge out on her? Will they try to spare her? Will they... And, you know, that's appropriate. Enzo says, I hope she dies. Michael says, kill her. Steph says, little Negan. Colin says, who cares about the little girl? So a lot of people out there. Feed her to the walkers. Kill her. So let me ask the group this question for a second. Calm down, calm down, calm down. Settle down, everybody. I need your help with this. Because this is where it's going to get tough. If that was her dad that just got smashed into deer antlers, did she have a right for revenge? Take Nick out of the equation. How should she have reacted? No. Hold on. The people, they're just immediately saying no because it's Nick. Take Nick out of the equation, everybody. Come on. You got to help me with this. So she has a connection with this guy, whether he found her, whether it's her dad, whatever the case may be. She has a connection with him. Clearly she does, because she killed him. We don't know what this guy did. We don't know that he did anything to Madison. Nick is irate, so we make the assumption he did something. But he walked away from Nick. Nick came in behind him with his back turned to murder him. And ultimately he succeeded. This girl witnesses that. How should she have reacted? I'm not telling you how to respond. I'm just giving you food for thought. And I think that's that's kind of the scrupulous question, and that's the gray area that we sort of miss in The Walking Dead. It's not about right or wrong. They're starting to go down a path of wrong and more wrong. And we like who we like because we're back here again, right? Aren't we back here where it was okay for Rick's group to kill all those saviors in their sleep? Don't be trapped by it again. It's tough because we found out that that's not always the right path. Rick Fisher with a super chat. Swing it over to Rick, and Rick says, "Is it just me? I think Madison is dead. That's why he's acting that way." Very possible. So Enzo Bordaluzzi says, this show is getting way too out of hand. You know what? I am going to disagree with you 1,000%. You definitely have a right to say that. But let me tell you, I think the show just took it up to a whole different notch. The fact that they have confidence in the supporting cast to step up to the plate and replace Nick just blows me away. I am in awe of their courage to write that into the script. And I will tell you, this show is not about who can stay alive the longest. Let me get back to that in 1 second. Dustin Hill with a super chat says, Nick and Travis had epic deaths. Hope Madison was. I agree with you. I think if they did this to Nick, what is going to happen with Madison? Aren't you curious? Like, this whole mystery has been dragging on for the entire season. So Muse says, wait, how do we know Madison's gone? We don't know Madison's. We know Madison is gone, but we don't know Madison is gone because clearly she's not with the group. She's somewhere else. But that's the fun part, right? That's the mystery. That's where they're kind of dragging us along. And we're left to our own devices to think, okay, well, we got these blue flowers, and Nick is really pissed off. Something had to go down. Is she captive? Is she dead? Was it, this tragic death? But look, here's the thing that I want to say to the group. One, look, let's think this through for a second before we get back to Nick. We don't know the time frame between what may have happened to Madison and where the group is at right now. Number two, if they're looking for the Vultures relocated. So they're not, I mean, I know these are common sense things, but the Vultures aren't sitting out there anymore because they were hunting them down. Three, did you see the reaction to the group when Nick died? Strand was almost paralyzed. Lucy in tears. Alicia breaking down. Now, if something happened to Madison, and it recently happened to Madison, like she was dead or they saw this, I would think the group would be a little bit more upset. And that's why I feel like they're hunting them, that maybe they kidnapped Madison and took her away and they're still looking for her. That's the way I would rationalize it. So if they all seemed lost with Nick and you saw this trauma, I would imagine they would have been more upset if there was something that happened with Madison. Now, the only thing I can say is, unless there's a lot of time that passed, but I don't think there's a lot of time that passed. So I think she's still alive. I'm gonna lay it on the line and say she's still alive, and they're gonna unveil that on us. All right, I got to jump to a couple super chats. Couple hundred people here. Once again, we got a lot of new people. I'm gonna do some shout outs for a lot of the new folks. We do this dialogue, we do these chats, we do these streams 7 or 8 times a week, and I know a lot of you are new. If you guys can do me a favor, the 999 Army first and foremost, I need everybody in 999 Army to slap that like button, and all the new folks, subscribe, join us, hang out with us, and hit the like button as well. All right, back to the next super chat. Jake from State Farm at 3 a.m. says, great dialogue, great writing, great acting by all, sad and shocking, so many questions, 10 of 10 for me. Very well said. I've done many of these streams, and I've dealt with many of the emotional consequence. So I'm not trying to... I even told the moderators a couple minutes before we did the stream, I said, hold tight. It's going to be very emotional. There's going to be some people that are very sensitive, some people that are insensitive, and then there's going to be some people that are on the middle ground, and they're going to be able to sort of give that level of feedback. I think that's very well stated, Jake. Thank you for that. Epic Vids with a super chat says... The Walking Dead Wiki has Charles' page titled, oh, that's pretty rough. So Charlie's page is pretty much getting bashed right now. Well, that's the day and age, right? That's what social media is. Let me jump to a couple more comments here. Jamie says Greed kills Madison somewhere still alive. I think it's a possibility. Steph says she was taken. Nick has no way to get her except to wait on them, and Nick doesn't want to wait. I can buy that. Drama King says kills, if I'm not mistaken. There's a season clip out there of Madison having a conversation with Morgan. If there is, I have not seen it. So I cannot confirm that. So let me do this just for the group as well, because there's going to be several people in the stream and several people out there. First thing I would like to do is I would like to thank all the members of the 999 Army and the people that are part of our group, our subscribers that are here on a regular basis, that know me and know this group, and say thank you so much for your class, for how you discuss the show, how you get involved with the show, how you chat, all of those things, and realizing that these actors have a tough time and they're actors. I hate to have to say that because it's so common sense. And you got children out there that are harassing this little girl or harassing Josh McDermott, Jeffrey Dean Morgan when these things happen. And it was an unbelievable episode. It was a complete shock. And it is a shot in the arm for this show. So before I get to Dawn of the Franks super chat, I want to get back to a topic I was talking about a little bit earlier. And this is a big mistake that I've done it, a lot of us make as viewers, is we think that the popularity of a show is totally reliant on how much we like the character, and that's not always the case. In fact, there's many shows that have shockers and events and things that you don't see coming, and it makes you want to come back and watch it again. With that being said, Nick is a big loss, and Nick is a good character. But maybe he wanted to leave the show, and maybe the show just needed to push in a different direction and get people to say, wow, now I'm going to go back and watch it. And as many times as people say, if Nick leaves the show, I'm not watching again, you'd be surprised at how many people are going to come back and watch again next week. Because now they got us curious. And this whole Madison story is a huge curiosity boost as well. So Dawn of the Franks says, I think they want to kill off the old cast and replace them with all the new cast. And Frank, that is along the lines of kind of what I was talking about. It's funny. I skipped over your super chat and went back, but that was kind of a little bit of what I was alluding to. They're not afraid to try the new characters. And there's some baggage with all these characters. So before Nick died, this is what I wanted to talk about with you guys. Is Althea was panicking. All these recordings, where are all these people? I was going to ask everybody, like, is she filming these people and then killing them? Because she's got like all this tape. That she's been doing this for a long time. The bog and these different areas. She's got some secrets. Even Lucy said she was almost like seeing through her when she was talking about, well, the truth. You know, you always have the truth. And I'm writing down like, okay, well, that's a little different than Rick, because Rick's been lying a lot lately, so these shows are going in a different direction. But Lucy almost saw that Al was talking about the truth, and maybe she's not extremely truthful. Right? Just a little bit creepy with her. But I really wanted to talk about that tonight, and now that just kind of completely got put on hold. So Epic Vid says, another channel said, just made a video and said they killed Fear by killing, or they killed Fear by killing the show. I think the ratings will go up. Yeah, I don't. You know, I think that's going to be the first reaction. So let me talk about what people do from time to time. And I've seen this, and I'm not going to say it's just Trev, but I've seen people on YouTube for that shock value because they want to get a lot of the people that we typically don't communicate with, and that's the people just, you know, there'll be a stream or there'll be an article tomorrow that'll say, Fear the Walking Dead is dead. They shouldn't have done this. And all the people that are so pissed off, like when Carl died, they'll run in there and, you know, they'll run up the video counts. And then a week later, they'll be doing a stream talking about the show. And then 2 weeks later, they'll be talking about how great the next show is. And it changes so much from like station to station. I'm going to take one bold move on this, and I'm going to say I think it was extremely brilliant. I think it was gutsy. And I got no problem with the writers writing the content for their show. So, very good comment by Valar. Same thing happened in Game of Thrones. The Red Wedding, people rioted. Ones who didn't read the books, but the show just got... You know what? I will say that when I binge watched Game of Thrones and I saw the Red Wedding, it didn't make me not want to watch it. And in fact, I thought everything after that I thought was better. I thought the show was so much better. Somebody, it might have been Pete D just a little bit ago. That comment kind of confused me. Sorry, I can't keep up with every comment that's out there. Bumblebee says, Big Brother's always recording and watching. I mean, you know, we learned a lot about, I mean, even Nick watching that little clip of John and Morgan. I mean, that tells you that if people forget your actions or your behavior, she's got proof of it. Zelda, and like I said, I'm not going to pile on with Trev because it's not just Trev. There are people that will ride the controversy. I mean, they know how to play the game, and they know that there's going to be a lot of people that are pissed off about the death, and that's going to be their angle they play, and they're going to kind of lure everybody in. It's going to be a real, you know, bitch session because that's what it's going to turn into, and then a week later, you watch. Watch by the season finale, some of the same people tonight that are dogging this episode and dogging the writers and dogging the producers, they're going to be the biggest supporters of the show in 2 weeks. You know why? Because they rely on this show in order to pay their rent. So if they do that, they're not going to give up on it. Exactly. And, you know, sometimes any publicity is good publicity. So, Valar, great point. Now I'm interested and very curious what happens. So, question for the group. Because we got a lot to react to tonight. So the ratings of Fear the Walking Dead are probably, let's say they're half of The Walking Dead. Do you think that many people who said that they would not watch Fear the Walking Dead, let's say the hardcore Walking Dead fans, all right, let's say, I'm going to throw out some numbers. So let's say Walking Dead has 6 million viewers and Fear the Walking Dead has 3 million. So let's say there's 3 million viewers that say we're not watching Fear the Walking Dead. The question I have for all of you is, did they get some of those viewers to go back and binge watch after tonight and start following the show? Yes or no? People that had not watched the show before that said, I had a bad history with Fear, don't really buy into it, they're afraid to do this and that. You think they got some viewers, some hardcore Walking Dead viewers? I want you to read the comments that stream up right now. Paul Mock, absolutely. Cammie says yes. Beth says yes. Diane Estes says yes. AJ says, I know a few here who did. Pete D said, I'm a fan for life. Emmy, definitely. Kelly, yes. Guys, look at the comments that are streaming up. And AMC is going to watch this playback. AMC is going to see that. So, what a brilliant, brilliant move on their part. So, yes, you have a right to be upset that Nick is gone. Yes, you have a right to want him to be around. But look at what these guys just did. They just made the show much, much more popular. And you know what? As a person who streams conversation topics about the show, I am 100% on board with what they did to Nick tonight, because it's going to put more people in these streams. It's going to give us more dialogue. It's going to give us more opinions. It's going to create a bigger network. It's going to make people that were on the fence that used to show up for the Walking Dead streams, that might be watching something else, now they're going to come back and talk to us. Now they're going to hang out with us a little bit more, a little bit longer. They just took this show up a little bit. And what they did to me last year when they got to the water, the one about the dam, and went around in circles, and they lost me for the rest of the season, I didn't care. I didn't care about the show. I was half-heartedly watching the show in season 3. And we streamed a few streams, we talked about it, and they got to 1 or 2, and I remember saying, we're not going to stream this. There's just nothing dramatic to talk about. Every episode started and ended and told the complete story, and there was really nothing that had me wanting to come back next week, except for the fact that, and look, some of you guys have been fans forever, and that's fine. I don't disrespect that, but for me personally, I was tolerating the show. Now, I am supporting the show. I care about the show. I am interested in the show. And I can't wait to find out what happens with Madison. Tommy, Sweet Ass Enforcer McCandless says, I wasn't totally sold on the season, but now I'm all in. Bev Bullock, I stopped watching midway through last season. You were right there with me, probably, Bev. And then now, bam. Bonda Martin, yeah, I was a fan from the beginning. Not so much now. Dislike Morgan. That's fine. You're going to get other sides of the spectrum, but I would tell you there will be more that are watching because the internet's going to be buzzing with this. Even people that watched one season, they're going to be shocked. They're going to be like, okay, yeah, I did know Nick. What? They killed off a star, and it's going to make them want to go back and watch the first couple episodes. I did like how John asked Lucy if when she left she didn't love him anymore, because he's just trying to figure out why Laura left. Dawn of the Frank, great, great quote there. Kicked it up a notch. Now we have a show. So, Annis Gamer says, do you imagine Fear the Walking Dead group with them Morgan help take them? And, we had that question a little bit earlier about will Fear merge with the Walking Dead? They don't need to now, that's for sure. They have their own show, and I think they're going to have a growing fan base. What's up, Nick? Thanks for being here, man. Someone also asked earlier tonight, will Nick lead the Whispers, and I think we got the answer to that question. So a lot of Nick theories out there gone. What a shock. What an absolute shock. And it's such a dilemma at this point because, I mean, Nick was killed by a kid. That's not going to be satisfying or rewarding or anything. I mean, even if they did, even if Alicia went up and shot Charlie, I mean, what's that going to accomplish? The next story has to be about what's going on with Madison. Walking Dead Nerd says, I feel bad for Morgan every time he tries to help someone. Well, he just gave him the book, and he tried to help, and Morgan says he loses someone, he loses control, so I'm just reading through a few comments. I want to stay caught up with everybody. You know, I didn't, I was a little upset at Nick earlier, and let me revisit that, because I know, you know, the emotional death is still stinging a little bit. Were you guys a little concerned, though, that Nick attacked Morgan? Let's rewind it, and let's say we didn't watch the whole episode, and we're only halfway through the episode. I mean, Morgan was going out of his way to extend every courtesy he possibly could, and Nick attacked Morgan, blew the horn, would not throw him a stick, and walked away from him. And then Morgan saved Nick's life. So Vonda says, I don't care about Morgan, but was it still fair for Nick to leave Morgan there to die? Nick was on a mission. Amy Jo says Nick was on a mission. Amy, did that mission include possibly sacrificing Morgan? I mean, I think that's a little bit extreme. So Kirsten says Nick only had killing on his mind, which is understandable, but it's dangerous. It's dangerous to be in the world if that's your, if you can't control that. Well, Nick was thinking of himself because he didn't know Morgan. I can get that, but do you think the show does try to teach us something about karma? And do they do it too often? It's a good point. Skull Crusher says Fear the Walking Dead is Morgan's show now. He definitely has a little bit more staying power. I don't, Ron says, be cool if Nick. Yeah, I don't think blue bonnets make you hallucinate. Well, one thing I will say is that the group is going to have a heightened sense of urgency if they didn't already. I was going to comment to the group, and we'll do the complete recap tomorrow, is I was like, wow, Alicia can really fight. And Nick is not a very good fighter compared to Alicia. And now I think that we've got our group. I think we've got a group that is very formidable. And so many things to talk about. So, and guys, I hate to do this with any stream because I know Fear the Walking Dead's coming on, and we're going to lose a few viewers anyway because they want to check that out and see the interview. So, I'm going to show respect to, I'm sorry, Talking Dead. So I'm going to show respect to Talking Dead so we can get over there and check out some of those interviews. I want to thank everybody for being here. I know this is it's one of those emotional episodes, but we've had many, many emotional episodes before. Appreciate, once again, just the class, the awesome nature of all of you guys kind of coming together, getting your viewpoints out there. We don't always have to agree. There's sometimes you're going to like characters and I'm not going to like characters, but we're all fans of the show, and that's the thing to remember. And as long as we stay fans of the show, we'll keep coming here and we'll talk about it. If we're not fans of the show, we won't. We'll leave. And I think the show showed me something tonight that is ready to really step up and do whatever's necessary. And I do think, as hard as it is when we lose characters, when it does happen and it's very shocking and very risky, that it will bring back a lot more conversation and will develop the story. So that's my thought. I want to thank all of you for being here. This has been the longest Fear chat that we have seen in a while. We will do a complete recap tomorrow. Also, I want to make an announcement. Avengers is out there. We are going to do an Avengers reaction video tomorrow at 8:30. So would love for you guys to join that, get involved, and talk about it. There will be spoilers with that, so if you haven't watched the movie, don't check in. So, or if you're not going to watch the movie, it's fine. Come in, hang out with us. So, Avengers reaction chat at 8:30 tomorrow, and then we will do Fear the Walking Dead complete recap tomorrow at 9:30. It's going to be action-packed night. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate everybody being here. Get over and watch Talking Dead with Chris Hardwick, and also make sure you guys Lucille that like button on the way out the door, and do me one favor, subscribe if you haven't. And this is the playback, and if you're still here, give me a quick 999 in chat so I can do as many shout outs as we possibly can. So I want to say what's up to Annis Gamers, the Catnat, John Brody, Hippo in the House, Diane Estes, Deborah Mooney. Watch the screen light up, everybody. Watch this. This is awesome. I can't even keep up with all that. Kelly Golan, Zanier, Paul Mock, Cammy, Bumblebee Brown, Red 6 Revolution, Rob Morris, DDA Ohio, Ron Burgundy, Oath Keepa 94, Walani, thanks for being here, Julia Drums, Lynn Varner, AJ Jepson, Eric C, Skull Crusher, Valar, Zelda Faz, Gina Crockett, H. Dwayne Sharp, Dustin Hill. Also, shout out, you guys can see up top of the screen, all the Patreons that support 99 Gaming Channel. Thank you so much. You guys are part of every video. Appreciate you being here. Also, you can see the sponsorship. Those are the people like The Walking Dead Nerd 13. They have a nice little badge. They have custom emojis. But Wilson, Pete, Vonda, The Walking Dead Nerd, The Mix, Jason Daly, also Michelle M. And my moderators are just absolutely amazing. Special shout out to all the moderators. Emmy, Steph, Tommy, and Kels do a wonderful job keeping everybody on point. Jacob Howard, thanks for being here. Fluff, Charlie Amos, Dawn of the Frank, thank you for being here. Liz Burnett, you tell them. Don't forget to Lucille that like button. Also, if you guys are interested in 999 gear, you can see the shirt over to the side. You can check us out at 999gear.threadless.com. and also the Walking Dead fan page. We got a lot of stuff going on, a lot of new shows, so we'd love for you guys to be a part of that. This is just the beginning. Thank you so much, Skull Crusher. I appreciate that. Mina! Thank you so much, Mina. Miss True, thank you. All right, everybody. I know I missed a lot of shout-outs, but everybody needs to get over and watch Talking Dead right now, so we got more stuff to talk about. I will talk to you all tomorrow. Peace.